Yo, man, what's going on, y'all, man? Today we got another crazy video, man. You already know what I'm gonna say, man. Give this video a huge thumbs up. The more thumbs up this video get, the higher that it rank, man. Let's break the internet with this one. When I say let's break the internet with this one, let's break it, man. Let's wake a lot of people up, man. You know the motto, man. Y'all keep it real with me, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna call out the real, I'm gonna call out the phony. You know, I'm gonna, I give it our time out, but let's get into it. I don't want to do too much talking, man. Let's go.
They talking about how the entire grid is finna shut down. And they're trying to blame it on the heat, though. But I'm telling y'all, the grid gonna shut down because the planet is rising in frequency. That's why I've been telling y'all for the longest. Those been following me know we gonna come a day when ain't gonna be no lights on in your house, ain't gonna be no internet, no nothing. The whole electrical grid that these oppressors set up is going to crash because the whole system has to come down. You can't think the system gonna crash and we gonna still have the internet. That's a part of the system. Right. Once the electrical grid gets shut down, they ain't got their Hollywood no more. They only control us through the media, and they only control us through blue light technology and nanobiotechnology, which is like cold lockdown. So the planet rising in frequency, and we gonna hit the heart chakra. They is that energy field that they using to run out. See, look, this is what they using to run out this is what they using to send all the spells out throughout the whole country to every major city. They using this mass energy system. All right, and they got pipelines that's connected to every city. It's just like on They Live, but this is the actual spot though. This is runs what we call the grid, your cell phones, your TVs, your everything, your traffic lights, like everything dealing with electricity. Okay, so if this is shut down, it's over with. All your cell towers, all that is over with. And guess what? Now they can no longer keep track of you. Remember, they got devices in everybody's house been listening to you for years because they scared of our rise. They got devices all in your toaster right now. Cameras in your phone. They can hear you when your phone off. All that. Y'all better know that. So that's why this grid had to get shut down. And this gonna go down. So once it hit, it's a wrap. Now they ain't gonna be able to keep tabs on nobody. Now they really gonna be scared. You feel me? And that's how the ancestors wanted, because you know they still got certain technology where they can kind of you ain't better to see it's over with.
What he was saying about that frequency stuff is real. I mean, like I told y'all once before, look at the national emergencies that go out when you hear a tornado siren, end of the world, or Amber Alert. Like, they're sending frequencies that is going through your brain, that is going through your body. Like, if you guys didn't know, you can look it up. As a human eye, we can only see 1% of what's really out here in the world. We can visibly only see 1%. I don't even think our phones have went past 5G, because I think they're saying the higher you go in G, the more dangerous it gets as far as radiation levels and frequency levels that's passing through our body that we don't see. It can literally fry our brain. I know y'all remember that stuff that happened right when they released 5G, because they weren't even finna be able to release it because it was becoming a national emergency at first. That is having an effect on them. You know what I'm saying? So he's somewhat not lying. I kind of agree with him on some of this stuff. Some of this stuff. So
eyes are useless when the mind is blind. So now it's time for you to open your eyes. And the only way you can do that is if you open your mind. Can you imagine somebody building something as glorious as this with no electricity or power tools? And can you imagine somebody carrying hundreds of tons of cement and concrete up the hill to the middle of nowhere and building something as glorious as this with just a hammer and a chisel? And let's look at these temples. If these was built with a hammer and chisel, it means if you make one mistake, brother, it's a wrap. It's game over. You're trying to tell me that slaves, because that's what you're going with, slaves chiseled into rock and made these glorious buildings. I don't know about you, but malnourished slaves would be under so much pressure. A mistake is destined to happen. Just look how smooth they was able to make marble with no power tools. You're telling me these men had sandpaper and they're getting jobs done like this?
No.
We can't even do this today, brother. I've said this once and I'm gonna say it again. The type of technology that we had back in the day, we just cannot reproduce now.
I feel like that we can reproduce it, but they just don't want us to reproduce it, because it will honestly turn the world into a total different direction. But I agree. I feel like that our technology back then was a lot more advanced than it is now. You think about the things that have been made, just stuff like that, over thousands of years old. Pyramids that's over 1,000 years old, things mummified. They mummified themselves, and they haven't been living for hundreds of thousands of years, supposedly. Like, you see what I'm saying? So how can something be preserved so perfect? That preserved so perfect in a time where it wasn't nothing but candle lights and chisels and axes, and they had the slaves had to do this. But how was the slave, like he said, malnourished slaves? They wasn't eating. I'm gonna be 100. If I'm in jail for the rest of my life, I'm barely eating. I don't think I can make a perfect circle. I don't think I can write my name right, man, let alone make art like this. Oh, they had the slaves bring up brick by brick, and they was hitting them with whips. They had the elephants, and they was forcing them to do, bro, they was killing millions of people then. There's no way, mathematically, them bricks weigh 1 ton apiece. There's no way that any human being were able to move them bricks. And you see how big them bricks is when people are next to them in Egypt. Now they released the truth about aliens being thousands of years old fossils and mummified objects and things that they have. What if they were aligned in a way with the aliens to a point that they was in tune? What if those were when they lived on Earth? Like, it's a lot of stuff that we could talk about, but I don't have to mess up people's mind with that, you know?
Glory be to God. There's over 200 of these trees of life that literally touch the top of the firmament. They're not volcanoes. This isn't my first rodeo. They have a root system. They aren't trees that would look like that. These are on a whole nother level.
Oh.
And yes, there's a root system underneath the Devil's Tower. Tower 2 Wars. Magdala, woman of Magdala. So again, this is not my first rodeo. I don't want to hear how they took samples from the Devil's Tower. It's rock. Dude, it's called petrified. They got scared, turned into stone. It's not stone, it's petrified wood. Knock on wood, Hollywood, Woden's Day. It doesn't matter what culture. Like I said, there was over 200 trees. So this is where you get Christmas. This is where they're cutting down the trees of life from. Abracadabra, the 3 Abrahamic religions. This is what I say is ice. It's the top of the pyramid. They had pyramids, which came after these because they needed these. 30% more oxygen. Ox, it's bull, Genesis. Created genetics, what a gene is. Genies. So, all around the world. There's one place in particular called Seratana. It's very interesting. But nevertheless, we're going to go over some more pictures. The movie Up, this is where they did Angel Falls, Paradise Falls. It's from a real place. It's laser harnessed sun energy beyond your guys' depths of comprehension. This has nothing to do about a big axe. These are giants, the jinn. So, let's take a couple more ganders, and then we'll get into it. Okay? Flat all the way around. It's not like a big mountain or a big rock. Like, I've heard so many theories. They're funny to me. And you guys might think, well, this is just a theory too. Look, it's whatever. This isn't my first rodeo. I must have said that 3 times by now because it isn't. And I've heard so many theories. I don't argue with people. We live in a firmament to become firmer men. It's a firmer mind, firmament. I know these words. I know where we come from. Don't be dumb. Don't be dome. A dome. Okay? It's Ganesha. This is Genesis. Okay? 6 protons, neutrons, electrons. So, root systems all around because they were trees of life. They're giants, physical giants that got petrified and physically cut down. This is physical, father sickle, where the sick or ill. Okay? Grim Reaper, you reap what you sow. It's Graham Reaper, has a scythe, a Seth. It's god of chaos in Egypt. Santa, Satan Claus, referring to the claustrum. This is ho, ho, ho. They're pharmacist tools. Harm or assist you. From pharmakeia, heal or hell. So the trees kept you in full alkalinity, in alignment, in.
I ain't gonna lie, he kind of confused me on some of this stuff. Hello.
In mind.
Okay. Well, I'm not too sure about this one either. He might be pushing it. He definitely might be pushing it. He sounds very knowledgeable. But in order to learn about what he's saying, I think it's going to take way more than just him using a lot of good wordplay. But I'm not going to lie to wordplay. When he said Genesis, think about it. Genesis, genetics, oxygen. Like, why is it gen all the time? You know, them things are hundreds of miles wide. So it's just more sort of thing on how did they cut down something that was hundreds of miles wide. Like, what technology would you have to just slice a very big tree that he's saying existed, over 200 of them? Well, what technology? And that comes, like he said, back to the Egyptian days. Like, how did they build the pyramids to be so tall? It's a gray space matter in the brain, because, I mean, in order for us to cut trees, some very tough tools, because trees, like he said, is the product really of life. It's the product of healthy oxygen. But I couldn't imagine somebody cutting something so smooth that it was over hundreds of miles wide, like hundreds of miles wide. Like, it's just completely flat. That could also be something that's pretty cool. It could be erosion, but how is that possible though? Yeah, I don't think I believe this one too much. I probably gotta do my research. Y'all can hate on me if y'all want to. Like I said, I keep it real, so I really don't give a F what people would think about me anyway, but I'm keeping it real. And if it's some BS where I feel like people are just trying to wordplay us and trying to make us believe something to where they don't have enough logic on, that world would make very much logical sense, that I'm not going to agree with it. Like, you can hate me if you want to, but I'm not just going to agree just because he word playing like rappers do it, and they be capping. Okay, I'm probably one of the realest YouTubers when it comes to this stuff, bro, because I really be doing some of the research. I do a lot of research, but it's still stuff I learned. I even kept that up with y'all. Like, I don't know every single thing, you know, but I'm still learning as well. But I don't know. Y'all let me know if I'm messing up down below.
Wake the fuck up, people.
Conspiracy theories or anything, but check this out. So I saw this video.
Did you see they just did some weird law with house insurance in California?
Yeah, they removed house insurance out there. State Farm is pulling out of that market. I don't feel like something massive is going to happen.
And not even 2 minutes later, this text message pops up. Pause to read.
There are safety measures you can take in anticipation of emergencies and disasters, and list of efforts. List of efforts T-Mobile has taken to keep our network operational during such events.
Wait a minute.
Movie 2012.
Lily, go sit with your brother.
They already been telling us, bro. Pay attention. Stop sleeping on my videos.
It's not just California. It's the whole goddamn world is going to shit. I met this guy in Yellowstone. This crazy guy, but he's been right about everything that's happened so far. And he said the government is building these ships, spaceships. I don't know what, but something. Ships? Yeah, places where we can be safe. He knows where they are. He's got a map. Kate, you gotta just trust me on this, okay? Guys.
Bro, pay attention. Pay attention. Stating what, right? Let me show you. Look this map up. Why do y'all think that they're just letting people rob stores in California right now? Like, why do y'all think people have been escaping and building bunkers and shit like that? I mean, y'all see what it say? They been telling us, bro. Literally. I just need y'all to understand, y'all, that there's a reason why California been on the map lately, bro. With all this shit going on. I'm telling you. Bro.
I ain't but look at that. That's crazy.
Literally.
Wow. So it look like the entire Florida is going to be gone. The whole New York, Savannah, Missouri. So I guess this is all connected to the Mississippi River. Nah, this Missouri, St. Louis up here. Hold on. Nah, this Missouri. Yeah. Dang. Then this is the whole Nevada. This is dang near the entire California. Wow. U.S. Navy map of future America. That's pretty scary though. Blue shows where new coastline would be. Wow. That is pretty crazy. I'm not too sure where he was trying to get on here. I feel like he's kind of stretching it. But I did hear about the things that's going on in California at the moment. He might be just pressing it, especially comparing it to the movie 2012. I don't think that the 2012 event had anything to do with it. I think he's pushing it on this one. Y'all can let me know down below.
You know, it's funny you say this. I recently got tagged in this post where it talks about how pretty much a CERN type of machine is underneath the Hoover Dam. So in 1988, a type of particle detector called a time projection chamber was placed inside the dam as a part of an experiment. The dam is considered the 8th wonder of the world. And it says, remember how 8 is the number of time? I don't know anything about that. We're gonna have to find that out later. In a sense, the Hoover Dam literally splits time because it sits between 2 time zones. Not only that, but the first time the dam produced electricity was September 11th, 1935. Exactly 66 years before 9/11, which, as you'll see later in the book, may have been a massive ritual meant to manipulate our timeline. In Transformers, the Hoover Dam is used to store alien technology, and in Edge of Tomorrow, a dam is a hiding place of Omega, an alien that traps humanity in a time loop. And as you can see here, it says the Hoover Dam holds the key to the fate of the universe. Here, it explains what a time projection chamber is. In physics, a time projection chamber is a type of particle detector that uses a combination of electric fields and magnetic fields together with a sensitive volume of gas or liquid to perform a 3-dimensional reconstruction of a particle trajectory or interaction. And here's some more information that like physics nerds will understand because I have no idea what this means. And then this is from an article written on October of 2014, Nevada's secret underwater world. When it was built in the 1930s, the Hoover Dam didn't just tame the Colorado River. It also created a massive lake that today hides shipwrecks, train wrecks, and cement tunnels alike. And of course, we can't forget about the 2 fallen angels that were sitting on black cubes at the Hoover Dam. But we're not surprised at all. They died to make the desert bloom is a clear and cut case of alchemy. Demonically sacrificed people to do some action or whatnot, the black cubes. Now, don't you find it interesting that the date was September 11th? Now, did you guys know that the first day of the year in the Ethiopian calendar is our September 11th? That's an interesting find. Now, you guys know that I told you that at the Hoover Dam Memorial, there is a marking on the floor showing that Thuban was the North Star for ancient Egyptians at the time of the Great Pyramids. And I showed you guys the map of what's at the Hoover Dam, and here we see the Thuban, which is the North Star of Egypt, Polaris, which is our North Star, and Vega, the North Star of the future. And I said that they wouldn't have added this unless there was a reason, like maybe they got rid of the Egyptians that were already here. Because there are rumors that there was a lost civilization in the Grand Canyon that was Egyptian. I know that the Hoover Dam isn't at the same place as the Grand Canyon. These are the 7 states that are sealed by the Colorado River. There's definitely something going on here. If you guys haven't watched my viral video where I talk about how the world ended in 2020, by the way, buy my merch available on alexers.com. We talk about how the Ethiopian calendar 2012 equals to our 2020. And if this happened on September 11th, 9/11 happened on September 11th, then they're definitely doing ritual to keep us stuck in a loop.
Wow. Okay, I gotta look through her TikTok, y'all. If y'all want to see that, y'all have to literally y'all have to become a member of this channel. Like, no cap. Y'all better hit that sub button, man, because I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna have to just react to some of her videos because what she was dissecting made a lot of sense. I possibly need to do more research just so I could clearly understand, but she was saying so many facts that I was sitting here like, you know how some people just tell you too much crazy information at once that you don't even have enough time to grasp one thing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that video on how the world ended in 2020. Yeah, I'm gonna get back with y'all. Y'all better turn on them notifications to get notified because I'm going to react to that for sure.
I don't know, man. Hearing news this week that the United Nations had a vote on whether or not food was a right, and finding out that the United States is the only country that said no, really doesn't make me want to go outside.
This is about the 10th video I've seen where a creator talks about how they just heard about the United Nations vote on the right to food and how the United States voted against it. I noticed what was common about most of these videos is that the creator was quick to talk about how they feel on the matter and wanted to leave out all of the information that would have left their audience just a little more pissed. Like this map that you see a lot of the creators using to talk about this. The problem with the map is not that it's inaccurate. The problem with the map is that it's from 2021. And if you're wondering why you're just hearing about it now, That's because they didn't tell us. It wasn't in the news, whether it be national or local. It wasn't in the newspapers. It wasn't in any magazines. They didn't have a press conference on this. They just straight up hoped that we would not find out. This is where it starts getting good, because not only was this vote made during a Democratic presidency, but along with this vote, the ambassador got to make a speech on why they decided to vote that way. The speech itself is rather lengthy, mostly with the ambassador disagreeing upon the language of what they were being asked to agree to, mainly when it pertained to pesticides and other things. But there was one part of their speech that did stand out among the rest. The United States supports the right of everyone to an adequate standard of living, including food, as recognized in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Domestically, the United States pursues policies that promote access to food, and it is our objective to achieve a world where everyone has adequate access to food. But we do not treat the right to food as an enforceable obligation. Keep in mind, when they said we, they're referring to our government. So our government stance on this is that everyone should have adequate access to food at all times, but they should not be the ones responsible of making sure people have it. Of course, why would the government feel obligated to feed its people when 10% of them are going fucking hungry? They don't feel that it's their responsibility to feed their own fucking citizens when their country makes enough food to feed the whole planet every single year. I have no idea how the United States is still in the United Nations. If that fucking assembly knew that 20 people died in this country every fucking day because the government refused to help them, they might just think twice. If they knew that that adds up to about 13,000 people a year here, and with the rising costs of everything now, that number is just going to be increasing. Our government has proven that they will literally watch every single member of the working class in this country go homeless and work full-time jobs from their fucking cars as long as they're still getting their tax money. Yep. They don't care. And it's about time we replace these fuckers with people who do. Have a day, everyone.
I wish we could do that. It's almost impossible now with the world that we live in, but I didn't hear nothing about that. I didn't even know that was true. But it's crazy how inflation is going on right now with just even groceries, but they didn't even vote that it's a mandatory for U.S. citizens. And you see that United States, Alaska, yeah. So only America is the only people that voted against it. And a place in Africa didn't vote at all. But every other place voted in favor. Why America? And why we didn't hear nothing about this? Because they control the media in America. I'm positive they heard about this all across seas. I have friends that's across seas, and they be hitting me up, asking me about stuff that I didn't even know about. Dang, bro, I heard this went on in America. I'm like, what you talking about, bro? We ain't hear nothing about that. Because they control the media. The government is very precise and strategic, y'all. I didn't even know that this was right. And it's very unfortunate to know that they didn't even vote us in when we are the only, see, because this is Alaska. Like, are you serious? Every other place voted in favor, and the U.S. the only people that didn't.
Check it out. So it's got tiger stripes, but it also looks like a dog, but it's got a pouch like a kangaroo. This is the Tasmanian tiger. It used to be native to the Tasmania area of Australia. It's kind of like the southern part. Not anymore. It's been extinct for like 90 years. This photograph was probably taken in the 20s because they use a lot of sepia in the 20s. The last one passed away in captivity in the mid-30s, so this is probably not the last one, but getting there. Other than the fact that it looks like a super cool hodgepodge, why does it matter? Why do we care? We're bringing it back. So they had DNA from this one, but they just recently got RNA from this one. RNA gives instructions to the DNA, so you have to have both in order to make it. Well, how do you make it? They're cloning it. Cool, boom, awesome. We're bringing this cutie patootie back. It's going to be great. They're calling it de-extinction. But also, inside of the RNA that they got from that Tasmanian tiger, they found ancient viruses.
I'm gonna have to look this up. I actually never heard nothing about this, but it seemed pretty cool though. I don't know what could potentially happen though, but it seems pretty crazy if you ask me. It seemed pretty cool. I don't see like nothing bad. You know, I mean, if it was 90 years ago, we got grandparents who dang near 100 and they alive. So, I mean, you think about it, couldn't have been too bad. But I understand about the virus part, but come on now. Like, I mean, they have to go make it. They making viruses anyway, so it's not like it's nothing new. So let's just get this over with. But yeah, you know, I like to keep stuff real raw and uncut. You know, I'm not the type of guy, like I keep telling y'all, I'm not just finna just agree with stuff because I feel like they just I just want to make things seem more dangerous than what it is. But if it's fake, I'm gonna let you know it's fake, man. I just keep it real. And that's another thing I asked y'all to keep it real with me. If I'm tweaking it, just let me know. Like, I feel like personally, if we can't keep it real with each other, then we can't be friends respectfully. I know a lot of y'all feel like that. Like, if I can't tell you when you're wrong and you get upset, then we don't need to be cool, like respectfully. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell y'all need to tell me if I'm wrong about something, then tell me. At the end of the day, like, that mean y'all my supporters. Y'all want the best for me. You know, don't just agree with what I'm saying just because y'all feel like I'm a YouTuber. Like, bro, tell me something about myself. You know, because sometimes I can be smelling myself. Even though niggas smell good. But make sure if y'all enjoy this reaction video that you get this video a huge thumbs up, man. Remember, the more likes this video get, the higher that it will rank. So let's get this video number 1. I'm telling y'all, man, let's go ahead and inform more people about this. Get people more in tune with their inner self about what's really going on. And we change the world, man. So let's go ahead and get to it, man. I love y'all. And on the next episode, I see y'all. I'm stuttering, but let's go.